Respected Vice Principal, Brother Isidore, members of the staff, dear parents, and dear Michaelite, good morning to one and all. I'm happy to give the speech on Children's Day. Let me begin my speech with a story. Once, a youth, academically excellent in his person, went to apply for the managerial position in a big company. The first round of interview was over. The director of the company took the final interview. After going through his resume, which was excellently done well, this particular youth has done so well in his schooling and graduation. He asked a certain question to him. The director asked, "Did you obtain any scholarship in school?" The youth answered, "None." "Was it your father who paid the school fees for you?" The youth answered, "My father passed away when I was 1 year old. It was my mother who paid the school fees." The director asked, "Where did your mother work?" The youth answered, "My mother worked as a clothes cleaner." The director requested the youth to show his hands. The youth showed a pair of hands which were clean and smooth. The director asked, "Have you helped your mother any times to wash the clothes?" The youth answered, "Never. My mother never allowed me. She wanted me to do my studies well and read more books. Furthermore, my mother can wash the clothes faster than me." The director requested the youth, "When you go home, go and wash your mother's hands. Then come and see me tomorrow morning." The youth went home happily, assuming that he would get the job. He requested his mother to let him wash her hands. The mother felt strange and happy. With a mixed feeling, the mother showed her hands to the son to wash. When the son started washing the mother's hands, this is the first time he noticed that her mother's hands were wrinkled and there were so many bruises in her hands. And it was very painful for her, and she was shivering while he was washing the hands. This is the first time the son noticed that this pair of hands that washed clothes every day to pay the school fees for him. The son was washing the hands. He found the bruises in her mother's hand. Those were the bruises were the price the mother has to pay for his graduation, for his schooling, and for his future. After finishing washing his hands, the son quietly went and washed the mother's clothes. That night, mother and son were sitting and chatting for a longer time. The next day morning, the youth went to the director's office. The director inquired, "Could you share your experience?" The youth replied, "Now I know what is appreciation. Without my mother, I could have not reached this stage." Second thing is that by helping my mother and working together, I understood how difficult it is to get things done. Finally, I appreciate the family relationship. The director said, "I'm looking for a person of this caliber, who can appreciate helping others, who knows what is empathy, and whose priority and goal in life is not making money. And you are appointed." This particular youth worked very hard and got the cooperation of his subordinate. So diligently they worked as a team, and he could bring so much success to his company. A child who has been protected and habitually given whatever he wanted would develop the entitlement mentality. It means that right to ownership. Child would feel that he would always put himself first. He would be ignorant of his parents' efforts and hard work that they show in day-to-day life. I remember one of our teachers who worked in our school. He would always remind his son, "Ronnie, my son, it is my responsibility to give you a decent and good education. And it is left to you to take control of your life. Don't expect me to come around and be spoon feeding and I will accompany you wherever you go. You are responsible for whatever you do." A child who has been very charming, loving and affectionate in childhood days would turn out to be a different person altogether when he grows to be an adult. For the sake of money and property, there are many children, they don't take care of their elderly parents and they are so greedy after their property and money. And we have this kind of overprotective parents. Are we really showing love or are we destroying the kid instead? You can let your kid to have a big house. Give him a driver and car to travel around. Give him a good meal. Learn piano. Watch a movie in a big screen. But remember, when you're cutting grass, please let them experience it. After a meal, let them wash their plates and bowls and give them opportunity for them to travel in a public transportation. It is not because you don't have money to buy a car or hire a maid. It is because you want to love them in the right way. You want them to understand, no matter how rich your parents are, they should understand the efforts and hard work the parents are putting in. They should learn to know the difficulties and tough time the parents experience in order to bring up their children. While I was working in one of the residential schools, one of the boys who passed out from the plus 2 was pursuing to go abroad to do his studies. Further, he was preparing for his IELTS, that is the International English Language Testing System, that he was doing it in Coimbatore. Mind you, the parents were coming from a very affluent family from Kerala, Palakkad, and they were owning a resort in a jungle. And his mother intentionally put him in Coimbatore and made him to do a part-time job in a Brookfield shopping mall. He has to work almost 4 hours a day in order to get his pocket money. And he was working as a salesperson, and all 4 hours he was not permitted to sit. And it has really taught him a good lesson for his life. I remember an incident, a big shopping mall in Trichy. It's almost 7-story building. When I went to do the little bit of shopping, one of the sales girl was rushing. She wanted me to buy things from her cabin. The reason is that the more sales the girl does, they will get her incentives as a salary. And they have to work more than 10 to 12 hours in a day. And mind you that they are not allowed to sit, no matter how old they are. And it is a matter of survival for many of us who is struggling to earn their livelihood. I remember a latest news that I came across. A star player who cleans his spikes makes the news this morning. But it is not going to be the same for you and me. It's a matter of survival for the common man. Dear children, we have posted this greeting card to all of you. And if you go through this greeting cards, the recipe for to ensure success and happiness in your life, it speaks about so many cherishing values in your life. We never say that you have to take up 1 or 2 values. Combination of all the values will enrich your life. Go through each day and make sure that you live a happy life. Let me conclude my speech with a quote. When I was a child, I was full of joy. When I was a youth, I had full of troubles and challenges. When I was an adult, I had full of responsibilities. And when I became an elder, I had full of wisdom. Let us have the combination of joy, troubles, challenges, and responsibilities so that it will help us to act wisely. May God bless you to enjoy the blissfulness of life. Stay blessed always. Thanks to one and all.